across the globe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm Susie McRae from the USA, and I have the honor and privilege of introducing the person who has brought us all together. You know, throughout this journey, he has remained steadfast in his vision and mission, and it's been under unfathomable external and internal pressures, but he's remained consistent, loyal, and committed to our big, bold, beautiful shared dream. How great is that? His character and integrity has remained unwavered, even in the most difficult times. He's taught us and reminded us about pruning, adjusting the sails, being fueled for purpose, and rising from the shadows to the sunrise. But you know what? Today is about moving forward. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce this man that I know, love, and trust, our founder, Mr. Ash Mufareh. Welcome, Ash. So good to see you.
Very good to see you all. Thank you so much, Susie. And I am really, really excited to deliver this message to you today. It is delightful to see all of you here. What a moment in life. I'm your friend, Ash Mufareh, speaking to you today directly, personally, from the heart. Whether you're a longtime supporter or somebody who stood in the sideway or been distracted by other things, or someone who's been quietly just watching, unsure what's next, I want to take the opportunity to speak to you today with perfect clarity, humility, and renewed purpose. Obviously, we're at a turning point, and I believe that with all my heart, actually, that what lies ahead is worth everything it took to get here. I know it's taken a while, but it's worthwhile. And I wasn't sure, honestly, I'm having a hard time to say this, but I promised to talk to you with clarity and transparency all of the time. As I was preparing for these remarks and having some bullet points and highlights, I wasn't planning to talk about this topic on this global update. I actually made a deliberate choice not to mention anything about our situation with the SEC. I thought I'm leaving that out for now. It is no secret that this litigation has been challenging, painful, however, and lengthy. But fortunately, we have been represented by some of the best, most experienced and skilled lawyers in the country, period. Everybody could look up who's representing us. Couldn't get any better team. And under my instructions, they've defended the case vigorously. But that has taken time, attention, and resources away from our core mission. However, I've got to tell you, I'm so encouraged by the recent developments. In fact, I'm actually pretty excited, and I look forward to being able to give you much more complete and positive update on this topic very, very, very soon. So stay tuned. I can tell you it's a very bad day and not so exciting for the haters. They're not having a good day. And this is not what they wished for. This is probably a nightmare for them. But God is good. I have to say that up front, loud and clear. And what a victorious day. I will be addressing this on a separate day, separate exclusive update, live update again, possibly number 2, because it's a big topic and I know you want to know more, and I'll break it down to you with what's allowed, okay, or what's productive or meaningful to you. But I'd rather to go back on track and continue my initial plan about a few things that you want to hear today. Let's begin by being completely transparent. This journey has not been easy for any of us. Yes, probably long or longer than we hoped for. We've experienced delays, we've dealt with disappointments, and yes, we've made mistakes. I did. Some of our efforts actually fell short and, not as we hoped for. But some plans and some of our production actually had to be scrapped and rebuilt from the ground up, totally from the scratch. And the truth is, some people we trusted were not what we thought who they are and who they were. I take a full responsibility, obviously, for everything that has happened under my leadership, and not in shame, but with humility, and someone who has learned, adapted, and committed to doing better. We built something bold. And when you build something bold, the risk is bigger, but so is the potential reward. It's worth it. And I know many of you have been frustrated, some confused, and you've been waiting for a moment of clarity. This is that moment. Crystal clear. The road ahead is very clear. So let's talk about the recent survey and some of the revelation and results about that. I am super excited to talk about this. Recently, we've invited you to respond and participate in a private survey. 3 simple questions. No pressure, no spin, just truth. And we needed to know, are you still with us, actually? We want to know. We want to feel, where do you stand? We know where we stand. How long are you willing to wait? And do you believe it's time for a new vehicle to carry out our shared mission? Now, let me tell you what we found. And what was going in my head, I'm going to share that personal thought with you. I had 3 predictions. I've told the team and those who spoke with me on the side, behind the scenes, I've told them I had 3 predictions, okay, of how many people I thought would respond or would be engaged. I gave one low prediction and one kind of like middle of the road, and one I thought was probably overly optimistic, okay? Big, medium, small, okay? Or small, medium, big. But what happened next left me absolutely floored. And I'll explain that to you. You may realize the importance